How much do you let people who are like nutrition clients like make decisions based on like how hungry they are?
Are you at, like, do I let them change the amounts of food that they eat because they're hungry? Like, so,
Sure, we can start there.
okay. So, no. Initially, I don't. Most of the people that come to me want to lose weight, so they have to be in a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And that does cause some hunger occasionally.
What?
You're going to have to be, at first, you're going to be a little hungry.
You're not selling these days.
But here's the thing, like, based on the macros that I give them, they'll reach their goals. You may need to just restructure your food a little bit. So if you eat a ginormous breakfast, so if I give you 125 carbs and you eat 100 of them at breakfast, you're going to be hungry at 5 o'clock at night. So that's not going to work for you. But if you restructure it throughout the day, or you take that 125 grams of carbs, and I don't give anybody that, by the way, that's really low.
Say I would shrivel up.
That's really low. So if you take that and divide it by 3 and have 3 meals throughout the day based on 125, then they're evenly distributed. You're not starving. Or if you want to have 4 meals a day, then you divide the 125 by 4. So I talk to them first about restructuring what I have given them, but then if they're just constantly hungry and just not recovering and tired, then we adjust the food amount a little bit. But no, I mean, if somebody starts out and they're like, Coach, I'm really hungry, I'm like, yeah, well, you've been overeating all this time, so you're going to probably be a little bit hungry, but it's going to be okay.
But I also think the opposite happens. And I definitely heard this quite a bit from people. It's like when they up their vegetables a lot, which is something you encourage everybody to do, or generally more than most people have been doing. Let's put it that way.
How do I eat all this food?
Yeah, how do I eat all this food? And then oftentimes people are waking up and they're not hungry right away. And they're used to, I've been trying to lose weight for the last 20 years and it hasn't been going well. So I just, basically try to not eat until I'm starving and I break.
Yep.
Versus like, you're allowed to eat sometimes if you're not hungry. Like that's okay. So in other words, like for the person who wakes up and they're not hungry right away, it doesn't mean that you can't eat.
It doesn't mean don't eat.
Yeah. Because you probably will be hungry and you don't want it to be when you're in the middle of your deadlifts.
Yeah. When you get to that point where your stomach's already growling, you're in a bad spot. It's not good. You're going to overeat. You're going to eat something that you didn't have planned for the day, or it's just not a good situation to be in. And I do hear that. I hear people say, how am I going to eat all this food when they realize they have to eat a certain amount of veggies and the food volume goes up, then they're like, there's a lot of food. Don't you get tired of chewing? I got that this week. Don't you ever get tired of chewing food? No, and I'm never hungry.